2024 is finally here, and that means a lot of new video games to look forward to. While 2023 delivered big on games, this year is likely to be quieter. But that doesn't mean that 2024 doesn't have a lineup of interesting titles. Final Fantasy VII, Rebirth is the first that comes to mind, as Cloud and the gang journey out of Midgar and explore expansive environments riding atop their Chocobos. Or you could sail into the Indian Ocean and live out your pirate fantasy in the much-delayed Skull and Bones, don the outfits of DC Comics supervillains to kill the Justice League, take on deadly irradiated anomalies in S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chornobyl, and get lost in the hustle and bustle of Hawaii and like a dragon, infinite wealth. Elsewhere, 2024 serves as home to some returning franchises, from a Hades sequel focused on the princess of the Underworld, to Vampire, the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2, finally coming with new developers at the helm, and 3 remakes of timeless classics, Persona 3 Reload, Metal Gear Solid Delta, Snake Eater, and Silent Hill 2. Then there's Ubisoft's Star Wars Outlaws, where you ping-pong across the galaxy to pull off the biggest heist, while Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown has you explore the puzzling tunnels of Mount Qaf using time-bending powers. A chunk of these titles don't even have proper release dates but are scheduled for or expected to launch sometime this year. With that, here are the games we're most excited to play on PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series S/X in 2024. Number 1, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Prince of Persia is returning to its side-scrolling platformer roots, plunging you into Mount Qaf, an interwoven world filled with puzzles and spiky obstacles looking to mar your progress. The Lost Crown puts you in control of Sargon the Immortal, a young dual-wielding warrior tasked with saving the abducted Prince Ghassan by harnessing newfound time powers and engaging in flashy cinematic battles against mythological beasts. It drops on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch consoles.
But there are creatures, gods, banished for their sins. They could doom us all.
Number 2, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Naughty Dog is remastering the fairly modern The Last of Us Part 2 for the PS5, boasting tech improvements such as unlocked frame rates and a native 4K output. While the game already received a next-gen update in 2021, this new version adds a few game modes into the mix, starting with a roguelite mode that has you play as familiar characters from the post-apocalyptic series and engage in randomized encounters with the infected, clickers, survivors, and more. Remember that each death takes you back to the starting point, though repeated runs can benefit from modifiers.
No! No! I know all the leads have dried up, but Joel's still out there, you know?
We're gonna have to run!
Why don't you say whatever speech you got rehearsed? Get this over with.
You don't get to rush this.
Number 3, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Yakuza fans are in for a treat this year as RGG Studios' upcoming Like a Dragon title not only ventures outside its primary Japanese setting but also features 2 familiar protagonists, a much-awaited team-up between the afro-haired Kasuga Ichiban and the weary Kazuma Kiryu. This time, we're headed to the exotic tourist spot of Hawaii, Honolulu City, flush with sun-baked beaches and shorelines, hotspots for arcade gaming, souvenir shops, and some downtrodden areas where you can deal with the local mafia. The combat continues to remain turn-based and soulful karaoke sessions also return in Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, launching across PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
The combat system where characters duke it out in action-packed RPG battles will get your blood pumping. You can move your character during their turn and take full advantage of your enemy's position to obliterate them.
Numero 4, Tekken 8. Having defeated his father, Heihachi Mishima, the spiky-haired Kanzuya embarks on a quest for world domination powered by his cutting-edge biotech company G Corporation. Wanting to end the global war is his son Jin Kazama, having reunited with his biological mother June, who was presumed dead in Tekken 2. Built from the ground up on Unreal Engine 5, Tekken 8 brings a new heat system mechanic that can grant characters special movements and enhance their abilities through flashy and aggressive means. This is all adding to the redesigned fighters and high-fidelity new-gen graphics, of course.
お前を殺し、全てを終わらせる。俺の血を引いていながらこの程度か。こそ、俺はまた守れないのか。
もろもろの我がこと罪汚れ。
Number 5 Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Join the newly recruited Task Force X, composed of volatile misfits Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, and King Shark, to take on the impossible mission of killing members of the Justice League who've fallen prey to the Brainiac's mind control. Engage in high-octane battles across the sprawling streets and rooftops of Metropolis using the weapons you have on hand or raw skills tailored to each supervillain or heroes, in this case, from bombs that pop confetti to boomerangs that help you teleport across the arena. Rocksteady's superhero looter shooter is playable in both solo and multiplayer co-op and will be out on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series S/X.
Diana, we have to die to save the world.
We can work with that.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now, talk to me because I'm talking no aim. Nah, I couldn't be there. Nah, you shouldn't be scared. I'm good at repairs, and I'm under the snare. Intangible, that you didn't think, so I command you to. You think you
Número 6 Persona 3 Reload. After years of speculation, the Persona 3 remake is finally headed to modern platforms, putting you in the shoes of a transfer student moonlighting as a hero to investigate the Dark Hour, the period hidden between one day and the next. Expect refined visuals and smoother gameplay mechanics that mirror the newer entries, as you forge relationships at your school and take on part-time jobs to fill out your day. Persona 3 Reload, however, misses one crucial element from the original. It excludes the ability to play as a female protagonist, which would have opened up a whole new storyline.
That's the Dark Hour. A time period hidden between one day and the next.
They only appear during the Dark Hour and attack anyone who roams free outside the coffins.
2023 was an excellent year for fighting games, with Street Fighter VI and Mortal Kombat 1 providing plenty of kicks to their legion of fans. This year promises some exciting entries in the genre too. Tekken 8 is arriving this month, and Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash, Bandai Namco's adaptation of the popular anime, is set to hit the shelves next month. Developed by Biking and Gemdrops, Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash will focus on the events from the first season of the Jujutsu Kaisen anime, with the game's single-player story putting players in the shoes of series protagonist Yuji Itadori. The game will feature 15 playable fighters in its roster, as players take on cursed spirits. You can also form teams of 2 fighters and take part in 2v2 battles. Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash releases February 2nd, a day after its launch in Japan, across PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S/X and Nintendo Switch.
Boogie woogie! Now we've reached the time where our technique actually begins.
Enlist in the Helldivers, the galaxy's last line of defense, and combat alien forces by either taking them head-on, raining down artillery, or sneaking into the enemy territory to catch them by surprise. The sequel forgoes its storied top-down presentation for a third-person shooter affair, as you pair up with 3 recruits and unload large-scale destructive power, collect resources for upgrades, and explore vast terrains to unravel the larger lore.
To your Hellpod and prepare for planetfall. Today we join a squad on one of the many planets in the galaxy, set on an important mission to eliminate a deadly bile titan.
Okay, we need to find the Terminate Bile Titan.
I think it's this way. There's some enemies here.
Okay, I'm covering you on the right.
We're covering your rear.
Number 9 Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. Developed by Don't Nod, a studio known for its narrative-focused Life is Strange series of games, Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden is an upcoming third-person action RPG, where players take on the roles of a couple of spirit hunters. The ghost-hunting couple, Antia and Red, is tasked with investigating a curse that has fallen upon the community of New Eden. But when a case goes wrong, Antia dies, leaving Red grieving her loss. Unable to move on to the next realm, she returns as a spirit to aid her partner in ghostly adventures that lie ahead. The two Banishers, with their distinct abilities, must take on the realms of the living and that of the dead to uncover haunting mysteries. Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden arrives February 13th on PC, PS5 and Xbox Series S.
Of sacrificing the living to bring me back. I'm not sure I can do this.
Honor your oath, or bring me back. But don't leave me like this.
Number 10 Mario vs. Donkey Kong. In this remake of a 2004 classic, the scheming Donkey Kong has stolen all the mini Mario toys from the factory, forcing our titular Italian plumber into a wild goose chase across green pipes, Goombas, and puzzling obstacles that force you to think outside the box. In addition to standard hops, Mario is equipped with backflips and handstand jumps that help him reach higher areas and clear stages, culminating in a boss fight with the tie-donning loudmouthed gorilla. Mario vs. Donkey Kong also comes with a local co-op feature when it releases exclusively on the Nintendo.
Mario needs to reach the key, but he can't quite cross the gap. That monkey's tail looks a little suspicious though, doesn't it? If Mario...
Once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy of Tea.
Number 12 Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons Remake. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, the acclaimed 2013 adventure title that explored the relationship between two brothers through innovative gameplay and an evocative story, is getting a remake. Publishers 505 Games announced the remake for current-gen consoles and PC at the Game Awards 2023, though it's not clear if the original game director, Joseph Fares, will return for the development. The remake promises upgraded visuals and many quality-of-life changes to the original game while telling the same emotional tale of two brothers undertaking a surreal adventure. Players take control of the two brothers, completing puzzles and platforming in tandem and utilizing the unique skill sets of each character. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons remake arrives February 28th on PC, PS5 and Xbox Series S/X. Final Fantasy VII, Rebirth picks up right after Cloud and his gang leave the towering walls of Midgar, arriving at the mining village of Calm, lush with greenery and blooming flowers. While our silver-haired antagonist Sephiroth returns with a vengeance, it seems Square Enix will mess with the original FF7's timeline to incorporate new story beats, including a small segment of him frolicking in the woods with our heroes. Also, the Crimson Lion-looking creature Red 13 is available as a playable party member in this sequel. Final Fantasy VII, Rebirth is a PS5 exclusive.
It and everything on it dies.
We can overcome our fate.
Am I the same as these monsters? Am I even human?
Okay, we're looking for Sephiroth. Think you can find him?
Oh, Sephiroth, you say? So you heeded the call too, did you?
What are you talking about?
As you can see, your brothers down there are having a little get-together.
They're our best chance of finding Sephiroth.
Blending gothic horror with Lovecraftian themes, Alone in the Dark puts you amidst a twisted mystery at the Dare mansion, where Jeremy Hartwood went missing after sending out a disturbing letter. Play as either the brooding detective Edward Carnby, David Harbour, or the family niece Emily Hartwood, Jodie Comer, and take on bizarre zombie-like creatures and giant roaches in pursuit of the truth, in addition to solving elaborate puzzles Resident Evil style. This reboot was initially set for an October 2023 release but got delayed into the next year to avoid conflicting with an already busy autumn
She
calendar.
knows I'm one.
Don't let them get inside, compare. They're not the good kind.
Drusero isn't cursed or blessed. It's a battleground.
Maybe the Dark Man just likes it when you suffer.
Have you ever talked to a doctor about your condition?
This is madness!
Are you crazy? Fall on your knees, wear the mask, praise his name!
Welcome to the Madhouse, Detective.
Number 15 Dragon's Dogma 2. Set forth on a grand new adventure as the Arisen, a warrior who is destined to slay the dragon residing in an underground jail and claim the throne in a fantastical experience that's entirely determined by what class you pick. A group of pawns, otherworldly beings, will accompany us on the journey, aiding us during combat and presenting unique dialogue options that keep things lively. Judging by the trailers, playing as a sorcerer seems to have the most potential, letting you create bridges out of water and rain down fiery meteors.
Learn aught you can of this world you must protect.
We ask that all be spared the horrors of the fell dragon.
From this moment forth, thou art arisen. Charge and duel.
Here's my chance.
If you're discovered, yours won't be the only head that rolls. What is your purpose here?
When 'twas all but certain that her son would take his father's place, word reached the castle that the Arisen had been found.
Pitiable Arisen. Why dost thou fight?
Arisen.
Number 16 Rise of the Ronin. From the creators of Nioh comes Rise of the Ronin, where you venture on an epic journey across 19th century Japan that has fallen into a state of turmoil. As a nameless warrior, glide through the skies or explore the plains naturally on a steed, and reshape history by working with real-life historical legends like Ryoma Sakamoto, with consequences that contort based on the choices you make. Play around with a variety of swords and spears, deflect incoming arrows, or imbue armaments with fire to deal hefty damage. This one is a PS5 exclusive too.
Without remorse. If the drum drives the rhythm, then the river directs the flow.
Let's do this, together.
How many mountains must you move?
Princess Peach's trip to the Sparkle Theater is interrupted by the conniving Grape and the Sour Bunch, who steal the show and turn the venue into a creepy affair. Accompanied by the theater's floating guardian Stella, players must face off against oncoming enemies using a magical ribbon, in addition to transforming into a sword fighter, allowing her to slice through obstacles. During downtime, she could also take on a detective form to track down clues, turn into a pastry chef, or become a kung fu master to unload kicks and slaps.
Now, it's up to Peach and the theater's guardian Stella to save the play and the day. This perfect performance has become a terrible tragedy. Luckily, Peach can use the power of Stella's ribbon to face off against the Sour Bunch. The ribbon alone won't always cut it, though. So let's...
Number 18 Destiny 2, The Final Shape. The latest DLC for Bungie's live service shooter takes the campaign to a new free-roam location called the Pale Heart, setting up a conflict against the Witness in an epic conclusion that ends the War of Light and Darkness. The expansion also introduces 3 new super abilities, from Blades Honed by the Void, a Storm's Edge dagger, and Song of Flame that lets you buff weapons and allies. Destiny 2, the final shape will be out on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox systems.
Why you were chosen. The truth is, I didn't know then. It was just a feeling.
Number 19 Black Myth, Wukong. Step into a dark fantastical realm of ancient China as the Destined One and engage in epic punishing boss fights against fairies, colossal monsters, and cowardly gods to uncover an obscured tale drawing from Journey to the West. Experiment with spells, weapon arts, and bodily transformations such as turning into a tiny insect to scout locations or sending in 100 clones to overwhelm opponents. Black Myth, Wukong is confirmed for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series S/X.
Why do the bad folks always win?
Because goodness without teeth punishes not. It only foments evil. Cleanse the world with blood and grow lotuses in it. That is your destiny.
I, the keeper of the New West, welcome.
Number 20 Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2. Captain Titus returns as the brutal Primaris Space Marine in this Warhammer sequel to put an end to the relentless Tyranid hordes, a swarm of deadly xenomorphs, across several planets. Team up with your friends to obliterate the aliens while talking smack or engage in a solo affair where your teammates are controlled by AI. Originally set to release in 2023, Space Marine 2 was delayed to ensure further polish and will be out on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series S/X.
We can't hold it!
Number 21 Broken Roads. Delve into the decaying Australian outbacks and experience a Wild West post-apocalyptic journey tailored by compelling characters and quests that contort and branch into something wild. Drawing from tabletop CRPGs like Disco Elysium and Fallout, Broken Roads also brings in a morality system governed by a compass, which continuously shifts based on the choices the player character makes, going from utilitarian, humanist, Machiavellian, and nihilist views to create a unique identity.
You buckle up. You press on. You don't even notice when agony replaces joy. Or love. But there are some blows that cut so close to the bone that it takes a while for the pain to set in. You bleed and you don't see it. Tear and you don't feel it.
Just like the original, Supergiant Games will first drop Hades 2 in early access, allowing players to test the waters and share relevant feedback. The sequel has you play as the sickle-wielding princess of Hell Millenoi, Zagra's sister, as she's forced into realms that lie beyond the Underworld to vanquish the Titan of Time Kronos. Witchcraft and magic attacks seem to be the core here, in addition to the boons you collect on each run and the legendary cast of new and returning Greek gods, ranging from Moros Doom Incarnate, the god of light Apollo, and Nemesis Retribution Incarnate. Hades 2 will be available in early access in Q2 2024 on Steam and Epic Games Store.
Good.
Number 23 S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chornobyl. The long-awaited entry in the acclaimed S.T.A.L.K.E.R series, S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chornobyl is a first-person shooter survival horror title, much like the Metro series of games. The game is being built on Unreal Engine 5 and gameplay trailers have showcased immersive visuals. players will take on deadly anomalies and other threats inside the Chornobyl exclusion zone. The developers have promised that player choices will leave a lasting impact on the game world. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 has been delayed due to the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine. Ukrainian developers GSC Game World, however, have continued development on the title under grueling circumstances, with many team members even joining the Ukrainian armed forces to resist the invasion. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chornobyl is set to arrive as an Xbox Series S/X and PC exclusive in Q1 2024 and is planned to be a launch title on Xbox Game Pass. Number 24 Hyper Light Breaker. Sequel to the acclaimed 2D action title Hyper Light Drifter from developers Heart Machine, Hyper Light Breaker blows up the scope by going full 3D open world. Sticking to its frenetic action roots, Hyper Light Breaker will feature melee and ranged combat in a roguelite setting. While the first game showed off retro pixel art visuals, the sequel features a colorful cel-shaded art style, with the same synthwave beats underlining the action. There's a focus on smooth traversal using hoverboards and gliders as players explore the overgrowth. The game also features online co-op, allowing you to team up with friends, experiment with different builds and take down regional bosses to finally face up to the Abyss King. Hyper Light Breaker arrives in early access on PC sometime early this year. Konami is bringing a faithful recreation of Hideo Kojima's acclaimed stealth game Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, which also served as the origin story for protagonist Naked Snake. In it, the operative is assigned on a one-man sneaky mission to rescue a Russian weapon designer Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov and sabotage an experimental, tank-like superweapon called the Shagohod. Much of the gameplay is situated around forests and swamps, forcing you to rely on camouflage and engage in a hand-to-hand combat system called CQC. It is being developed using Unreal Engine 5. Number 26 Silent Hill 2. James Sunderland is once again plunged into the foggy and disturbing town of Silent Hill to find his deceased wife, who seems to have sent him a mysterious letter. This remake of a timeless classic comes from Bloober Team, which is a warning sign for many since the developer is known for treating trauma in a distasteful way to compensate for weak character writing. Silent Hill 2 will also be presented with an over-the-shoulder camera view, which the studio claims is supposed to help with immersion. Number 27 The Wolf Among Us 2.
Could she really be here, waiting for me? Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago.
Number 27 The Wolf Among Us 2. The ruthless Bigby Wolf is returning to the gritty noir New York City to solve a new mystery that involves the fables, specifically Tin Man and Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz. Picking up 6 months after the events of Season 1, the sheriff of Fabletown survives winter under a whole new administration spearheaded by Snow White, at a time when the worlds of the Mundies, humans, and fables, fairy tale characters, have started to intertwine. The Wolf Among Us 2 launches across PC, PS5, and Xbox Series S/X.
You've been hesitant to share with us. I assume it has something to do with confidentiality associated with the job.
Number 28 Vampire, The Masquerade, Bloodlines 2. After spending years shuffling between studios, the Chinese room finally took on development duties on Vampire, The Masquerade, Bloodlines 2, set in modern-day Seattle, as you trudge along its dark alleyways as an elder vampire and strike relationships with power players to decide what the town will become. Just like the prequel, blood will be your key to sustenance and powers, as we stalk our prey cunningly, charm our way into high societies, or rain terror by leveraging special abilities such as summoning bat swarms, teleportation, and heightened agility to traverse the map with ease. Number 29, Star Wars Outlaws. Set between the events of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, Star Wars Outlaws follows Kay Vess, a cunning space scoundrel with a bounty on her head, who is on a mission to pull off the biggest heist in the galaxy with the help of some friends from the intergalactic Underworld. Take on risky contracts and interact with crime syndicates to gradually build up your reputation, all the while exploring the vast outer space and terrains to chase new adventures. There are no Jedi powers at play here, so brush up your aim with your trusty blaster and other weapons you find in the open world.
Looks like I'm all in.
She's in here somewhere.
On second thought, I'm out.
There she is!
Back my whole life.
Devil May Cry fans who've been itching for another adrenaline-fueled action game can look forward to Stellar Blade, coming sometime this year, exclusively to the PS5. In it, you're tasked with saving humanity, which is in deep slumber, from extinction by reclaiming planet Earth from the monstrous natives. Trailers have showed off a lightning-fast combat system involving swords to slice past enemies and a unique blaster that seems to function like an EMP.
여긴 무덤인 건가요?
아니, 이곳의 주민들은 에너지 고갈로 잠들어 있는 거야. 이대로 간다면 영원한 어둠뿐이지. 이봐, 우리를 도와줘.
조심해! 리스팅되지 않는 네이티브야. 아담, 뒤로 물러나!
Number 31, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. We wish we knew more about this Nordic sequel beyond its jaw-dropping new setting of Viking Iceland, where our protagonist Senua is headed next to free those who've succumbed to the horrors of tyranny. Hellblade 2 promises to be more brutal than its predecessor and will be laden with puzzles exhibited through psychotic visions, all of which is built using Unreal Engine 5 for that extra oomph in the graphics department. It launches on PC and Xbox Series S/X.
Stop fighting for them. Until the very last beat fades away.
Number 32, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage follows a group of 4 schoolgoers, Swan, Nora, Autumn, and Kat, who after a traumatic supernatural event in the summer of 1995, are forced into reuniting after a whopping 27 years of not keeping in touch. It's a narrative-focused adventure centering around a long-buried secret, with an art style that might be quite familiar to those who've played Life is Strange. It's the same developers, after all, don't nod.
It's been 27 years, y'all. Why now? Because we made a promise.
PlayStation.
Learn to survive in a strange primitive land dominated by dinosaurs in Ark 2. This sequel has been completely redesigned with an improved third-person camera view, Souls-like melee combat, and a chaotic new environment. Dynamic world events and a sensory-based creature AI make exploring the world even more challenging than before, and supposedly, the campaign will see Vin Diesel reprise his iconic role of Riddick. The Dino Hunting survival experience will launch across PC, Xbox Series S/X, and Xbox Game Pass.
But if anyone can tame this new world, we can.